It's Tope Fajinbesi Balogun. How are you? First of all, thank you so much to everyone who came and supported Shio last week Saturday. It was a very surreal experience for me, and I'm really looking forward to doing more Shio episodes in Nigeria, in Europe, and in other parts of the US as well. So please continue to pray for me and pray for House of Ghania. But today I want to talk about repeating a class. Yes, repeating a class. Let me take you back to when I was in elementary school. Let me date myself a little bit here. But when I was in elementary school, like if you hadn't mastered a material as a child, you'll be asked to repeat. Yes, you'll be asked to repeat if you hadn't mastered the material. So let's say you were in primary three or what we call third grade, and you take the exam, the end of year exam, and then the teachers find out that you haven't done as well as the cutoff point. They would ask you to repeat third grade, primary three. Okay. In fact, some parents would actually go to the school and ask that their kids repeat. The bottom line is that somebody, the teacher or the school, has determined that you haven't mastered the material and you need to take it again. So think about that child. And if you were that child, I want you to go back to that time when you had to repeat a class. And the feeling is that of shame, of that of embarrassment, of that of anger, of that of hurt. Your mates are in primary four and you're in primary three. You have to make new friends. You have to, sit through something that you thought you already knew or something that you didn't care about learning anyway. But for some kids, they settle down and then they start to rethink their lives and master that material so that they can do very well and finally go to primary four or whatever the next class is. Now, how does this relate to life? Sometimes our GPS will make us repeat a class. Will take you through a particular route again, a route that you've been through before and you weren't happy driving that route, a route that you went through before and you were just really upset. You will now have to retake it because there's a part of the material that you haven't quite mastered and you have to master it. What do I mean? Let me give you examples. So let's say, you were married before, you got a divorce, and then you got married again and you had to get another divorce. Or, somebody lost a child one time, then lost a child another time, or lost a loved one another time. Or, even in my case, this has happened to me before. I had a stillbirth the first time, and then that was followed by a couple other losses. So that is called repeating the class. Or you've had unemployment a couple times, or your business has failed more than one time. It is repeating a class, repeating a course. Your GPS is making you go through this pain again. And we can, like that child, think, oh my God, I'm so ashamed. Why do I have to be the one who was pregnant before and no longer pregnant? Why am I the one who had a child and then lost a child and that's happening again? Why am I the one who's lost my business over and over again? Why am I the one who's lost my investment? Why am I the one who's lost my job? Why am I going through this route again? And we start to think like that child, that it's a punishment. Well, only God knows what a punishment is, but I like to think about it as, perhaps there's a part of the material that I haven't mastered again. Don't get me wrong. When I start to repeat a class, and I have repeated a couple classes, in actual fact, I'm repeating a class right now, and it's not funny at all. When that happens to me, I absolutely do not start thinking, oh, okay, yeah, now I have to repeat a class. No, I don't get all philosophical. I throw a tantrum like that child. I am, impatient. I'm upset. I'm confused. But by the grace of the Almighty, after a while, I settle down and I start asking God to please show me what part of the material I haven't mastered so that I can master it and move to the next level. So I want to encourage you. If you are having to repeat a class right now, please don't be frustrated. Or please, let the frustration phase, kind of end right now so that you can sit down and master that material that God wants you to master. It might be that He just wants you to trust Him, or he wants you to pray more, or he wants you to fast more, or give more, or just simply grow some skin, some new skin. I pray with you, and I pray for you, and I pray for myself that God shows us the material that he wants us to master so that we can stop repeating these classes. And if you're going through this, my heart is with you. I know exactly what you're going through. Like I said, I'm repeating the class myself right now, and it is not funny. As in, it's not even funny at all. But I'm hoping and praying that God gives me the wisdom to understand the material that I need to, master. So, I hope this has encouraged you. I hope this has lifted you up. If it has, please share with your tribe as well. I'm Tope Fajingbisi Balogun. See you soon. Mwah.